Yo, once again it's on. Oh, Cassie. What we gonna do with her? Cassie Ventura tells this story about in the hotel in the middle of a freak off, right? D Rock busts into a room and says, "Hey, Suge is downstairs at a diner. Like, I know Suge is at a diner or he's dining. Let's go." Diddy gets up, gets dressed in all black, and they roll out to go get Suge Knight. And she told him, "Don't do nothing stupid." So they roll out to go get Suge. Oh, man. Why is this brought up in trial? Knowing the salaciousness of it, why do people take such liberties to try to make such a it sounded like a movie where she was saying it. Now, I'm left to do what I do, to clear the minds of all the confusion and all the nonsense and all the theatrics you've been hearing. And on the Patreon, we'll go a lot deeper than this. Because my Patreons deserve that. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. Facts are not common anymore. Because of social media and because of people like Teaser Tales and all these other people who have no idea what they're talking about, you're having all of these people make these wonderful edited videos and they're giving their thoughts but have no information. They don't know anything. They don't know who these people is. They don't know who D-Rock is. They don't know the situation. Now, when you start saying we should go in another direction, right? What did we notice? Somebody just sent me a crazy ass email. But what did you notice here? I've always looked at situations that are unique in presence. Suge Knight and Sean Diddy Combs did not get along, right? For years, the Suge Knight Death Row beef and all this. Pac died, Big died, Suge went to jail, and all of a sudden, you know, the beef was supposedly over, but Suge was being, pushed out of the business. And when you're pushed out of the business, the there's a large, let me see, how should I put this? There is a resentment because you're more popular by your identity of who you are. Your identity of who you are, that changes everything. Now, Suge is just being popular off of the name Suge Knight. He was with Death Row Records, he's Big Suge. So that's more popular than what he could bring to the table in any business. Nobody wants to do business with him, but he has to make his bones just being Suge Knight. It was very interesting. Oh yeah. Oh no, not that. No. Oh my goodness. I'm tired. Ugh. So when these two tried to mediate before, this was during the time that they wanted to start this union. And they felt that Puffy stopped it. He the one snitched. He's the one that, turned on everybody and all of these different narratives, right? And they said, oh, well, it was Puffy. Sean Puffy Combs did it. Puffy did this. Puffy did that. And everybody had their own opinions, but nobody had any reality to the situation. Now, Suge played football in UNLV, right? He was the rookie of the year in '85. He was a defensive captain. So football was his thing. Then when he went to college, he just became another person who was out there. Yeah, it was pretty much like that. But see, Suge Knight only had one outlet. That was the internet. That was being present in this new millennium. This is how I get money. This is how I make myself hot. I have to go out there and push myself so that people understand and know who I am, what I'm doing, and how I'm doing it. Mm. Well, sorry for the distraction. A lot of people are distracting me with these crazy ass emails. Uh, now, at this time, Diddy is Diddy. Diddy is making moves behind the scenes, putting out artists, putting out, he's mostly into television now, TV and film, more than he is music. So that's his real concern right now is navigating through that. And of course, doing freak offs in his leisure. So now he's ready to go, according to Cassie, she's ready to go freak off. But let me tell you what really happened. You see, Suge Knight showed up on the scene and he was different. Suge Knight had been out trying to basically extort people. That's right. And he was out there in the nightclub running into people, extorting them, tried to run down on camera. So they heard about that. Diddy heard about that situation first. Now, why is everybody doing this to me today? Now, everyone who knows Tupac, Suge Knight, the whole randomness of it, Suge was on the streets going off about Puff, Diddy, whatever. Puff no Diddy. So he was just going into his bag. Puff, man. See, Puff know who did it, man. Puffy know who did it. So, bitch ass Puffy. He's never gonna let stuff go because if he lets it go, that means he disappears. So the Tupac, the Snoop, as long as they're relevant, he will be relevant. Hmm. Well, when you get into now, look, here we go. I got it pulled up and bring it up to you so y'all can have a visual. Now, during this time, it's the same times, right? Whenever these new artists that come into the game hit the scene, Suge would go and lean on them. He would lean on these certain artists and be like, "You owe me money." He leaned on Cameron. He leaned on a couple of few artists that came into the nightclubs to try to say, "Hey, y'all owe me money and this and that." And you in Cali, basically taxing them, like the no-fly zone type stuff. Like they were doing whatever they could to stay relevant in this game. The money was gone, was dwindling out, and they was just trying to find anything they could to stay in the game with the new players in the game. So when Ja Rule came around, that was a new thing for them. Like, yeah, Ja's here. We finna be back because Ja. But Suge kept, being Suge Knight about things and end up putting himself on the outs with Ja Rule, with everybody. Like he just blew it all. So now he's got the camera because they wouldn't let him into a nightclub. They said, "Well, we can't let you in here." People said, "No matter what, you don't get in here. Don't let Suge Knight in here." So he's ticked off because anywhere in LA, he just walked right in. And then he know the security guard. So he was ready to beat up the security guard. Like, man, you live here. So I'm gonna have to see you. You making that decision. You the one telling me I can't come up in here. He was, "Man, it ain't me at all." He's like, "They right here." So the boss come out and said, "I said you can't come up in here." And he was like, "Look, all these New York and out of town motherfuckers, they going back home. You gotta live here. You should think about that. You sure you don't want to let me in?" And the guy said, "No, I can't let you in." So even when all that is being said, they couldn't let him in. So he goes out, the camera, he see TMZ and those guys, and he
motherfucker walked down the street and said Suge Knight killed Tupac. When everybody know off the top, I ain't the nigga killed Tupac, I'm the nigga protected Tupac. Yeah. But at the same time, bitch ass Puffy can give him a motherfucking star. Every rat in the world said he didn't want to kill Tupac. Yeah. Or had him shot. Yeah. You know what I mean? But if you notice, it was a rat on television saying he the one did the shooting, this happened, that happened, this happened, that happened, right? Right. If you think about it, right? Right. Why you think nobody been arrested if they said they didn't want to kill Tupac? Because they're snitching to the police, so they ain't gonna get arrested. Not just to snitch and be smart, son. Because Tupac not dead. As smart as you should. Tupac not dead. He was dead. They'd be arresting those dudes for murder. You know he's somewhere smoking a Cuban cigar. Any motherfucker walked down the street and said.
Now, this Tupac isn't dead analogy comes out of nowhere. Well, you got to understand there's a connection that normally or usually takes place between individuals to where they don't get to a certain point in their lives where they grow. Suge is stuck in that moment where he's not growing. So Very shortly after that, right? Suge Knight is trying to do everything to show everybody he's a good man. So Suge is going around doing all of these television shows. He's getting on camera. He's doing all of these different things. All of these other people are out here doing things that don't usually matter. While everyone else in the game is doing things that are not usually abundant at this time. Well, it's that most people don't see that it's in good consciousness to have a good conscience, rather to say you should be in this zone of space or that zone of space, rather than to continuously go down this road. And for me, this kind of does it. This kind of tells me exactly what people are. Now, when Diddy goes into, he always stays at the Beverly Hills Hotel. The security, people are there to make sure things go, in a way they're supposed to go. It's not a lot of wiggle room for nonsense. Now, granted, there's a lot of people that had a lot to say early on about successes and what should be accepted and what shouldn't be accepted, right? So while staying at this hotel, Suge was going to have a business meeting where he was going to put together some type of league where he wants to get into his, you know, there's so many people, right? So they got all of these different individuals that come through, and these people say, hey, I don't like this, I don't like that, about the monies and how they put them there. But anyway, Suge's coming to have a meeting at the Beverly Hills Hotel. It just so happened Diddy was staying there already for some other business he had. Now, as they're coming in, Roger Bonds, who's the CEO, just happened to be downstairs. And they have like security, like walkie talkies or whatever. And he like, Suge Knight just walked into the Beverly Hills Hotel. So D-Rock, who's head of security, at the time, he goes and informs Diddy. Suge is downstairs in the Beverly Hills Hotel. So the story that Cassie tells is very much nonsense. That he came busting in the middle of a freak off to tell Diddy that. Now, whether he was having a freak off, to me, it seems very rare that this would be the occasion that would be going on at this point in time. But hey, it's her story. So her story, there was a freak off. And he comes bursting in and saying, Suge's downstairs, and they dress it all black and run downstairs. That's not how I heard it happen at all. D-Rock had informed Puff because he went upstairs to get Puff or whatever. And he went upstairs. Puff left out immediately. So Puffy was already dressed. And he didn't change any clothes. He was already dressed. They left out and got on the elevator. And it's about 4 or 5 of them, right? They go downstairs. And then D-Rock and Roger Bonds, Puff introduced everybody to Suge and said, man, why do we still have a problem, man? Man, because that ain't what, he was like, I ain't got no problems with you. He's like, that ain't what I heard. You still got, they was like, you still got the interview out where you dissing me again, man. Like, man, what is this about? And he was, nah, Puff, you got it wrong. You got it all wrong. So now, everybody who's sitting around looking at this is cracking up. Mm-hmm. Oh, well, it's going to be a whole lot of stuff going on. Sorry, I got a crazy distraction. Somebody had hacked my Twitter or whatever, so and started posting crap. So as you can see, I'm dealing with so much right now. But anyway, this happens, right? And Suge was like, nah, man, I'm out here right now. I'm trying to get my youth football team in, and we need sponsorships and all that, man. We should come together, make this league happen, man. Like every rapper, man, gonna have a football team, and we're gonna have a football league for the youth, man, and get back to the community. And he's like, let me get your number. And he was like, nah, you can talk, you gonna get the office number. And if you call that, and they'll get to me. He was like, all right. And that was the last time they ever spoke. They never seen or spoke to each other again. Now, I don't. They went their directions. Suge went to his meeting. Puff and them left because Puff was telling him like, "Look, man, I'm here right now. We could. I'm here right here. What's the problem? You got a problem with me? I'm here right now. Let's handle this now." So as you can see, there's plenty of space for opportunity to grow. So what Cassie's talking about, her story don't really make a lot of sense. Now, the story that Gene Deal tells was another time when she mentions she had to carry guns to bring a gun to D Rock. That was in a hotel. I mean, when he was in a restaurant and they had him boxed in, and she came in the restaurant, he called Puff, and Puff had to send Cassie in there to give him some burners so till he can get outside. And nobody did anything. Like they didn't make a move. So he walked in, gave him them burners, and then he was up and out. So there was no problems, nothing that was gonna happen to him. So he felt like I'm all good. Like I said, it's different times, different eras, different situations, but ultimately, this was it. This is how people moved back then. Oh my goodness. When they try to spam you, now they trying to say Cino was part of the freak offs. This is why the guy is protecting Diddy. Oh gosh, these people are clowns. Clowns, I tell you. They all of the circus. Well, let me go take care of these saboteurs. I'll see y'all on the Patreon where we'll get into all of this stuff that's going on. Mm-hmm. when people know how to prepare things or cook things or to do, it's a whole different art form. But this Suge Knight Puffy thing is just for the internet. It's really a bunch of nothing. But there were certain pieces that were left out. I'll talk to y'all on the Patreon in a minute. I gotta go and handle all this hacking stuff. So let me deal with this. All right, I'm out. Hi, I'm Carcino. Oh, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
No one knows Carcino and none of these.
There's so much going on in the world, and I'm just giving my 2 cents on it.